And that sort of leads me on to another topic that I was talking to Nick Deeks about at WT Partnership, where in England you would quantity survey or cost plan and cost manage the services element of a building. Whereas here in Australia that doesn't seem to happen. So if you've got the services taking up 40 to 50% of the cost, and really you're working on square metre rates and really sort of governed by what the contractors come back with and who's got the cheapest tender and value for money, isn't that an area surely where clients could benefit in cost savings if the same rigour of cost planning is done to the services as it is to building fabric?
Well, Davis Langdon recognised that as a risk some time ago, and we've actually engaged within our company, both in the Sydney and Melbourne office, experienced engineers. Yeah. So not QSs, not M&E QSs as such, but experienced engineers that we've brought into the fold to assist us with not just cost planning engineering services, but also quizzing engineers that we're getting value for money. So is that design appropriate? So we don't do any design work, but we would critique designs and things. Now that has been quite successful, and for example New South Wales Health, again, funnily enough, I've written into the QS scope of service that the QS is fully responsible for engineering services costings. So that means you may get some information from the engineers, but you are responsible for what figure goes into your cost plan.
Okay.
Now we have just actually, because that is becoming an increasing part of our business, we've actually just arranged for a M&E QS to supplement our team here in Sydney to come out from the UK. So we're in the process of getting a guy out who was so you remember Davis Langdon took over Mock Green Wall, an M&E QS firm. Well, we are actually getting an ex-Mock Green, now Davis Langdon person from Southampton office, I think he's coming from, or Portsmouth, something like that, to join our team here in Sydney.
Because there's not many of them about in Australia, is there?
Well, no, I mean, the engineer thing has been terrific.
Yeah.
But as that role increases, what we find is we do need someone with some measurement skills, for example, and someone who is a bit more analytical in looking at costs and things, and the information we get from the subcontractors and things. So we'll have, I think, a bit of a dream team in that we've got an experienced engineer and an M&E QS working together to take responsibility for services costings.
Sounds good. Would you recommend a career in quantity surveying to your children?
My two children, no. For the simple reason that neither of them have got the what I consider the aptitude for it.
Yeah.
My son is into design and stuff like that. He's much too creative to be a QS. And my daughter's a bit too scatterbrained for stuff like that. But no, I think if someone has their children have got the aptitude for it, which is attention to detail and a bit of common sense and stuff like that, then I still think it's a terrific profession, particularly if you get your RICS qualifications, because that is an internationally recognised worldwide qualification.
Exactly.
And that's what I say to my guys in here. Yes, by all means, you get your Australian qualifications, because that's important when we're pre-qualifying for government work and such. But the opportunity to join the RICS, the Aussie guys, and what that might do in terms of opening doors elsewhere is tremendous. We actually have done some exchanges with the London office. So sent Aussie guys to work in London for a couple of years, and then they come back bigger and better. Sometimes they don't come back at all,
exactly.
and vice versa.
Yeah.
We've done that with the building surveyors as well.
Yeah. How do you think climate change and the climate change policies that will eventually be put in place by the government, how are they going to affect the service that you provide your clients in the future? How involved will you be in the carbon trading budgets, etc.?
Well, Davis Langdon have just developed a carbon cost planning tool. It's called ECM, Embodied Carbon Metric. So in the same way that we can tell a client how much a project will cost, we can also now tell him how much embodied carbon is in that building.
Wow.
And we did a presentation we've done presentations to universities and to health, and they're all very keen, and we've actually got 2 commissions at the moment where they have asked us to do the carbon cost plan in tandem with the capital cost plan. So that's a new initiative for us.
Excellent.
It's very, very new, hot off the press.
Yeah.
But I think increasingly that'll become part of our business.
Yeah, absolutely. Good. Final question. This is really to do with time in our lives, So, where has all our time gone? And how do you manage your time?
Where's the time gone? I've no idea. You would think that in this day of the mobile phones and the emails and everything else that you'd have a bit more time to do other things. In actual fact, I think it's just speeded everything up.
Yeah.
So before, when you used to send someone a letter and then take a few days to get there and then write back and a few days to get back, so that meant that you had those few days to do other things. What happens now is you send them an email and you get a response straight away and you've got to action it.
Yeah.
And everything's just speeded up.
Yeah.
So I don't think these things have made our lives any easier in terms of business. They've just speeded things up.
Yeah.
You get more done. It might mean that people are more efficient, but it's all happening now. Once you send someone an email, it's off your desk, it's their problem, and they feel they've got to respond straight away, and then it's back again. And as we were saying before, I think we've lost the art to a certain extent of picking the phone up. Yeah. And I worry sometimes that the personal relationships you develop with clients and other industry professionals might be lost over time when people start to hide behind emails and some of the data management systems like AConnect and such. I know they're terrific tools, but it's too easy to send someone an email or an AConnect memorandum and then it goes backwards and forwards rather than picking up the phone and sorting it out. And having that personal contact and moving things forward. Yeah. So I suppose a bit of a two-edged sword. It's all happening now and quick and everything else. But sometimes instead of having an email trail of 20 emails, you could have picked the phone up and sorted it out in one conversation. Exactly. So interesting times.
Yeah. And so, but how do you manage your time? So how do you not become a slave to your Outlook?
I usually spend the first probably half an hour in the morning going through emails and things and responding to things that need to be responded to straight away, and then I try and focus on projects and things. I'm still very active in my projects, and funnily enough, I did some reports just the other day about what we call utilisation within the different service lines in here. So, the QS business is 80% efficient, if you like. Utilisation, doing 80% of the time is spent on fee-earning work. My time is probably 60% at the moment, which I think is pretty good for someone in my position. So I try and be productive and get involved hands-on in my projects, but it's becoming increasingly difficult as my responsibility in here is not just to the QS business, it's to the office as a whole and the Canberra office. So increasingly I think I'll be spending more time managing the offices and less time on projects and dealing with clients, which is a shame because that's what I like to do.
That's why you became a QS. Ian, that's fantastic. That's some great answers there to those questions. And thank you very much for your time today.
No problem. Thank you.